Hello everyone, my name is Cait Murray, or Cait as I prefer, and I am the Research Assistant on the PEER-4-ID research project at Trinity College Dublin. I am working in partnership with Dr. Donatella Kamada, who is the Principal Investigator or Lead Researcher on this project. I am assisting her in inviting you here today to be a participant or to take part in this research. And I'm also involved in the data collection later on in the research. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later in this video. So you have already watched the animation video in which you learned what research is, who does research, who might be interested in being a participant and why you should consider being a participant in research. And in this video, I will explain what is involved in this research project and how you can take part, as well as lots of really interesting things as well. What is this research all about? Well, myself and Donatella are really interested in understanding the opportunities and challenges that you have faced after you have left school and are searching for employment or higher education in Ireland as a person with intellectual disabilities. So who can be involved in this research project? We are really interested in gaining the lived experience and expertise of people with mild and moderate intellectual disabilities. So what does involvement or participation in this study actually look like? Well, you would be invited to share your expertise through taking part in an interview and a focus group. An interview is where myself or Donatella would have a conversation with you one-to-one. And of course, if you would like a family member or a friend to accompany you, they are more than welcome to do so. The interview questions would be sent to you beforehand, so you would have an opportunity to think about what you would like to communicate to us. We're really interested in listening to your knowledge and expertise. You can communicate to us in 3 ways, so either writing your thoughts down, you could verbally communicate to us, or ask someone else to be your voice. A focus group is where you would discuss your lived experience of finding a job or going to higher education with a small group of other people with intellectual disabilities. The interview and focus group would be audio recorded and anonymised, and could either take place in person in a location familiar and comfortable to you, or we could organise a telephone or Zoom call. In total, the interview and focus group would last no longer than 2 hours. There are 3 benefits to taking part in this research study. Firstly, your self-confidence might improve because you're talking about something that you know a lot about. Secondly, by sharing your lived experience, the researchers, both myself and Donatella, and wider society will better understand things from your point of view. Thirdly, by sharing the opportunities and challenges that you have faced, we will work with employers and higher education providers in Ireland to improve the situation for people with intellectual disabilities. There are 3 disadvantages which are really important to be aware of. So firstly, you must allocate 2 hours to be part of the interview and the focus group. Secondly, you might find it a little bit challenging to communicate your thoughts, and that's why you will have the questions provided beforehand, and you're also welcome to communicate in whichever way is best for you. Thirdly, whilst discussing your experiences, particularly if you've experienced challenges, you might become upset. We understand this. We will pause the conversation, whether it be in the interview or focus group, support you and offer counselling in Trinity College if you wish to take it. If you would like to stop the interview or focus group at any point, it is completely your choice. You're also more than welcome to continue when you feel able. So what happens to the information that we've collected? What happens to the results? The results will be presented in reports, conferences and journal articles. Information about the project might also be shared on social media, but no personal data or names will be shared at all. We really hope as the researchers that the results of this project will help others to understand what your challenges have been when seeking higher education and/or employment in Ireland. Before I talk about GDPR, I would like to add that this project has been approved by Trinity College Dublin's Ethical Committee in the School of Education. Additionally, the project was funded by the Irish Research Council 2023 to 2024. With regards to GDPR, it's really important to know what personal data we will collect as the researchers. So there are 3 pieces of information: your first name, your surname, your email address, and your opinions. So how will your data be stored during and after the project? So firstly, Donatella and I will be the only people to be able to access your personal information. The data will be completely anonymised, so no one will be able to identify you or your personal information. All of your data will be kept on password-protected Trinity devices, and we will not use any of your information without your consent. We are trained to protect your data during and after the project, so we will keep your information for 1 year to enable you to access that data if you so wish. After that time period, we will dispose of it in a safe manner. The person responsible for how the data is looked after in Trinity College Dublin is called the Data Controller or Data Protection Officer, and I've included their information, their phone number and email address in the Participant Information Leaflet. So what are your rights regarding your personal information during this research project? Firstly, only after you have consented will any personal data be collected for the sole purposes of the reasons outlined in this study. You have the right to withdraw your consent or stop taking part at any time during or after data collection. You have the right to make a complaint, so that means that the Data Protection Commissioner would be able to have a conversation with you. Their contact information is supplied in the Participant Information Leaflet. You have the right to ask for a copy of your personal information and consent form. You have the right to stop the use of your information being used in the research. You have the right to make sure that your personal information is correct and to correct it, fix or delete any information that you do not wish to be stored. You have the right to move your information, meaning you can get a copy of your information and give it to someone else. Finally, you have the right to know if the information will be used outside of Ireland in another country. This study will not be going to a country outside of the European Economic Area. If this changes, we will then contact you and request your consent. You do not have to consent to anything you do not wish. Now to the most important part. If you wish, how do you take part in this research study? There are 3 steps. Firstly, if you wish to take part, you must have either read the Participant Information Leaflet or listened to it, or have listened to this information video. You then, number 2, need to sign the consent form. Before signing that consent form, make sure you understand everything that you would like to about the research study. Please talk to it about your friends or family members, or indeed email me and I can have a conversation with you about any questions you might have. Thirdly, please send the completed signed consent form to me before April 15th, 2024. You can find my email address on the Participant Information Leaflet. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this information video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me. My email address is in the Participant Information Leaflet, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much. Bye for now.